if you look at strength athletes, you really don't peak in strength and a lot of times muscle till you're like mid-30s, okay? So if you look at a lot of the best powerlifters in the world, they're mid-30s, some of them are late 30s, okay? Because it takes so many years. Think about Mr. Olympia. Someone who's 30 years of age and on the Mr. Olympia stage is a baby. They're young. You got Mr. Olympias who are 36, 35, 36, 37, 38. Because it takes so long to put on muscle. It takes years, decades, if you're dedicated to your sport. So what I would say is your peak muscle gaining years are probably going to be from 25 to 35. I'd say that it starts to get really hard to gain muscle. It's not really hard. If you start to notice it's harder to gain muscle probably after that. So like when you hit the late 30s and early 40s, you start to notice, man, I don't have as much energy as when I was in my 20s or my early 30s. And so I would say probably it starts to get harder in your 40s and 50s. That doesn't mean you can't gain muscle. You certainly gain a lot of muscle. What it means is that you just have to pay more attention. The 25-year-old can work all day, party all night, sleep 3 hours, and do it again, and gain muscle at the same time. The 40-year-old, they can't do that. They've got to work their normal job. They've got to get 8 to 10 hours of sleep, and they got to get their amino acids in. They've got to get their recovery aids in. They've got to be on point to optimize muscle gain. They're not 25, and that's the difference between the two. It's more you just have to pay attention closer. So, my dad is gaining muscle, still gains muscle at a great rate, but he has to pay attention to things that much closer, right?